Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we are, Saturday, March the 18th. Hang on a second. There we go. Now we're cleaned up. Sorry about that. How are you? Here in Indianapolis, it is a snowy start to the day. We are checking in at 24 degrees. Going to get to 28, but we've got a little layer of snow out there, and it's a good day to stay inside, watch some basketball. Speaking of basketball, or first off, welcome to the Daily Cricket Sports Show. I'm going to try to go live every morning, not for terribly long, but just for a while to talk about what happened yesterday in the day of sports, what we see upcoming today. And really, right now, it's all about in NFL free agencies kind of taking off. Had a little bit of a lull here the last couple of days because a lot of the big guys got signed, and then obviously the March Madness. And being here in Indiana, the story everywhere is Purdue, but being here in Indiana, it's a little bit of a more local tie. We'll talk about them in a second, but let's see what we've got going on today in the world of March Madness. We start off right at noon, 12:10. It's Furman. They got the upset over Virginia versus San Diego State. San Diego State's a 5.5-point favorite with that one. Duke, 3.5-point favorite against Tennessee. That's a 4-5 matchup. Arkansas and Kansas. Kansas, number 1 seed, 3.5-point favorite. That is a sneaky game for Kansas. Arkansas can play some defense, so we'll see how the Jayhawks react to that. Princeton and Missouri, 15 seed Princeton, 17 Missouri. Missouri is a 6.5-point favorite. That tips at 6:10 tonight. Auburn and Houston, a 9 and a 1 seed, 7:10 tip off. Houston is a 5.5-point favorite. Again, being here in Indiana, we're not the biggest Kelvin Sampson fans, so we're going to be cheering. I'm going to be cheering for Auburn for that one. Penn State and Texas, 5.5-point favorite for Texas today. That's a 10 seed Penn State, 2 seed Texas. Northwestern and UCLA, a 7.5-point favorite for UCLA. That's a 2 versus a 7. UCLA looked really good on Thursday. And then Maryland, the 8 seed against Alabama, the 1 seed to get 9:40. So let's pick some winners here, shall we? First game, we've got Furman and San Diego State. Furman, everybody knows the upset. They got the job done, forced that turnover at the end, hit that shot. The thing with these Cinderella stories, the second game, they usually just fall flat on their face. Some actually come out even better than they were when they pulled the upset. We'll see. San Diego State started off slow and then caught fire in the second half. That's going to be a good game. I'm gonna stick with the upset. Let's go Furman. I think they're going to continue to ride this. I think they're going to get to the Sweet 16. And what a story and what a fun thing that will be for them. We've got Duke and Tennessee. Being a Carolina fan, we always pick against Duke, so I think Tennessee gets the job done. Truthfully, it's going to be a struggle for Tennessee. Duke has just been on a tear. They are very good. Defensively, they're actually moving, they're rotating, they're hitting open shots. At the beginning of the season, their rotations were slow. They were running the offense, but they were just kind of stagnant, kind of like how they were at times last year at the end of the year. I know they made a Final Four run, but I think Duke gets the job done. But we're cheering for Tennessee. We want them to win. Arkansas, Kansas. I'm about this close to saying Arkansas is going to get the job done, especially with no Bill Self. I don't think he's coaching, but I think Arkansas is really, really, really good. I think they're really athletic. That'll be a tough game for Kansas. Kansas probably will get the job done, but I would not be surprised if Arkansas wins. Princeton and Missouri. Again, Princeton with the huge upset over... who did Princeton beat? Oh, they beat Arizona. Sorry, they came storming back. Arizona had that game, and they came storming back. So that's going to be an interesting one. Missouri didn't start well, and then they came back and got the win. They're a 6.5-point favorite. Your mind says pick Missouri, but your heart says pick Princeton. Let's keep the underdogs going. So I'm going to pick Princeton and Furman, hopefully, to keep it going. Auburn and Houston. Again, I don't really care for Houston. I don't really think that Sasser injury is going to be huge. He says he's going to play. We'll see how athletic he is. Auburn is really, really good, and that's right down the street there in Alabama. So I would not be surprised if Auburn gets the win. I would not be surprised if they pull the upset. Houston did have to come storming back at the end to actually get out of the first round. So that was a rather interesting thing. But I think Auburn wins. I think two number one seeds go down today. I think Kansas and Houston both lose today. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. Penn State, Texas. I'll tell you what, Penn State, we watched them tear it up in the Big Ten tournament. They did not miss a beat when they played Texas A&M. Texas is a different animal. They're big, they're strong. But I think Penn State's seen this. I think Penn State has gone through, this is when going through the Big Ten just beat down is really, really beneficial. So I think Penn State gets the win today. Northwestern, UCLA. On the other side, I don't think Northwestern's seen the athleticism that UCLA has. So I think UCLA wins pretty big. Then Maryland and Alabama. I think Alabama's a really, really good, strong team. I think they get the job done. They're 8.5-point favorites. I think they kind of run away. I think Maryland stole one the other day. And I think Alabama flexes his muscles. This is the number one seed, the only number one seed left. So, again, we're going to go, let's start early and go back. We're going to go Furman, Tennessee, Arkansas, Princeton, Auburn, Penn State, UCLA, Alabama. We're only picking a couple winners. So, what an interesting day on the hardwood. So, let's go back to yesterday. Being an Indiana graduate, first we're going to talk about IU playing against Kent State. They won 71-60. Kent State shot 32%, 33 for 3, 9 turnovers. IU had 7 blocks. Now, all I read all week was Kent State went and played tough against Gonzaga, and they played Kansas. I think it was Kansas, and they were gonna, their athleticism and their grit, and they were gonna be right there. And they did. They hung around. It was between 6 and 15 basically the entire second half, and they made a little mini run. But IU kind of dominated that game. Trace Jackson Davis just kind of took over, and Race Thompson just took over. And I don't think that they had seen the size and the physicality that IU had. I think it's something where I thought Kent State was going to win. I did. I picked against IU. But they really came in and just kind of put the pedal down. And Kent State missed so many little layups. So many. And there's 2 reasons why that happens. Number 1, you're nervous and you're just short-arming it. Or you hear footsteps. Trace Jackson Davis had, 19 blocks or something? So they heard him coming. They knew that there was a big guy coming down the lane to hit that, block that, and send it to the 5th row. So, truthfully, I think it was very, very interesting to see how IU kind of responded to kind of some of that negative energy, negative things. A lot of people either had them winning the whole thing or out in the first round, because that's the kind of team IU is. They're all over the place. But Kent State just never showed up. If Kent State played their best game, they were in it, and they were all the way saying, let's go, then it would have been maybe a different game. It would have been. Because they just missed so many layups, so many easy shots that IU came down. And IU missed their own a group of those too. They missed a lot of those easy ones. But honestly, at the end of the day, IU got the job done. They shot 47%. 47% versus 32%. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. So, excuse me. Kent State stayed alive because they had 16 offensive rebounds to IU's 10. But a good game by the Hoosiers. A nice win. They were out of the tournament for 6 years. Then they won the play-in game last year, and then got smoked by St. Mary's. So this is a nice win. Now they play Miami. Miami looked pretty legit yesterday. They are big. They are physical. So can IU turn it back onto the Big Ten mode and get down there and muscle up? We'll see. Race Thompson continues to have to play well. Jalen Hood-Schifino played okay. I think he's going to have to play better to take advantage of some of the guards with Miami. But what a nice win for the Hoosiers at 3 in the morning. So let's talk about the game. 63-58, Fairleigh Dickinson beats Purdue, the second 16 seed to ever win. If you really get into these stats, really get into them, Purdue shot 36%, and they were 5 of 26 with 3-pointers. And out of those missed 21, I can at least think of 4 to 5 that were just in a gym on a Saturday, wide open, clank. They could not make a shot. If Edey did not get anywhere near the basket, it was an absolute, oh my gosh, cross your fingers, what's the offense going to look like? 16 turnovers. How Purdue loses, how they lost all season was they didn't shoot it well. They basically out-rebounded people. They out-rebounded them 36-28. There's three things, actually two, let's just keep it simple. Two things that caused Purdue to lose. Shooting, 19% for three, and the other team shot 30. And turnovers, 16 for Purdue, 8 for Fairleigh Dickinson. That's it. You knew that the pressure was going to get turned up by Fairleigh Dickinson. You knew that they pressed. That was the whole story all week. After that team won, the coach came out and said, we can beat them. I've seen them, and I know what we can do. Well, he knew how athletic his guards were. They actually just went and got right in Purdue's face. They weren't scared. He did what most of those teams were going to do. Edey, go get your 30. He had 30 points and 18 rebounds against IU, and they lost. I would look at that as Purdue's coach and be like, whoa, we had a monster game by the player of the year, and I can't get any of the supporting cast to lift this team to victory. That is scary. And that's what happened last night. I mean, like, they got outscored by 1 in the first half and 4 in the second half. Zach Edey, 21 and 15, but they could not make a three. They had 15 out of 19 for free throws, which is great. You need to make those free throws. You have to. That's what basically kept them in the game. Offensive rebounds were offset. Everything was offset. Purdue had 6 blocks. Fairleigh Dickinson had 3, and that's fine. Fairleigh Dickinson is the smallest team in the tournament. They knew this was going to happen. They knew they were going to get rebound. They knew they were going to get outblocked. But here's a stat for you. 26 points in the paint for Purdue, 24 for Fairleigh Dickinson. You got a guy that's a foot taller than everybody, and you have only 2 more points in the paint than the other team. That is insane to me. So Purdue goes down. You kind of saw this, unfortunately, if you're a Purdue fan. You didn't see this event happening because they literally just kind of cruised through the Big Ten championship. They really did. They went through and won it all. Let's go back before that. They played, here's a run from in February. They went to IU and lost by 5. They went and played Iowa at home and won by 14. And then they lost to Northwestern, to Maryland, beat Ohio State, lost to IU. IU, Northwestern, and Maryland are all still playing in the second set of games. They made the 32. So you literally, and Iowa won. They were in the tournament, they lost. So you went 2 and 3 against tournament teams, basically. Ohio State, don't count them. But, 1 and 3 against tournament teams. Penn State, the game before it, they pulled them out. It's so interesting. And if you look at these losses, I'm just looking at the first IU loss real quick here. Again, they shot 33% from 3, had way more rebounds, 16 turnovers. Pick another loss. How about the Northwestern game at the end of the season? 18% for 3, but only 9 turnovers. So that one was just one of the 2 equations. They had to shoot good in 3 and keep the turnovers down to win games. At the end of the day, that's the issue. Another loss, Maryland. 15% for 3, 7 turnovers to 8, so they were even with that. If one of those 2 things happens, they lose games. They just lost games. 3-pointers against IU, 22%, 5 for 23, but 10 turnovers. So going into this, could anybody have predicted it? No. I mean, it was difficult. It was 16 versus 1. Being here in Indiana, I actually grew up Purdue. My family went to Purdue and everything. This was by far their least talented team. It stunk that this is what happened because they were kind of put in a position where they were one of the better average teams. There's so many teams out there that are average. That's why I think today, Kansas goes down, and I think Houston goes down. I really do. I think they go down because I think they're 1 seeds and they're good, but they're not like head and shoulders. There's some of my Carolina teams that were just, when Tyler Hansbrough and Ty Lawson got in the tournament, who's going to stop them? It was an absolute just boat race for some of those games. So anyway, that's it for us on a Saturday. It's a snowy day, but the sun is shining and we got blue skies outside. Excuse me, sorry. We got World Baseball Classic coming up. I think we're playing today. Let's take a look here real quick. There's NFL free agency. We'll obviously talk about that as we get closer to the draft. But I just like to get on here, talk a little bit about sports. And hopefully, as more people join, as you watch this later, leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know who you think is going to win, all kinds of stuff. Looks like we play Venezuela today. So that's fun. In the knockout stage. Cool. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Awesome. Okay, well, that'd be fun. So we'll keep an eye on that. Friday, Puerto Rico versus Mexico played. Who won that game? Sorry, I got something in the mouth. I got something in the throat this morning. Well, we're not updating. Oh, there we go. No, wait. Why won't they show the scores? Five to 4. Mexico just beat Puerto Rico yesterday. So the knockout stage. Oh, these are this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wait. Oh, Cuba and Japan are already in the semifinals. There we go. Now we're learning together. Puerto Rico beat Mexico. We play Venezuela. Cuba and Japan are waiting. So if we win this one, we go into the semifinals. How fun will that be? That'll be awesome. Okay. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all of you. Hopefully you have a great Saturday. Hopefully you sit back and enjoy the madness and have some fun. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all of you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check us out. We're going to hopefully go live. We got kids' spring break coming up, so we're probably going to go live about 8 or 8:30, just a little bit later when the kids are in school. We're going to back that up, probably like 7 o'clock, 6:30, something like that, so we can get done having our chat before we get ready to go to school. So thanks for being here. Have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you later.